Hey there guys, it's Tina and I am back with a haul video. Okay, I bought some things, okay guys, and I want to share those things with you guys. So that's what we is gonna do. Y'all know what a haul video is, right? So I have been on a moderate buy. I wouldn't say a low buy necessarily, because it turned into more of a moderate kind of buy. But you know what? We're buying things and we're enjoying things, but I am being a lot more conscious about what I buy and bring into my life. So with that being said, don't judge me. Like, here we are, we're enjoying makeup together, and I'm gonna go through the products that I picked up recently. This is in the last 3 months that I picked these up, so they're not like 1 month purchases, or they're not just like last week. These are over the course of 3 months. So let's dive right into it, right? I picked up a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Should I go into the palettes first, or should I go into the other products first? I think I'm gonna go into the other products first, because that makes more sense to me to get those out of the way. So I went ahead and picked up a couple of things from McGrath. So she recently released a concealer and a powder, and I went in store to check these out because I was filming like B-roll footage, which is just footage of me in the store swatching products. Like, I was filming that for my shopping block series, and I wanted to see the concealer and the powder, and I ended up picking this up because I was caught up in the moment. So I picked up the concealer. This is the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. Quite a mouthful, and I got the shade M21. And this contains a 0.16 fluid ounces or 5 milliliters, which is not a lot of product compared to like the Urban Decay one, which I think is almost double, if not close to double that, like at 0.3 something. And then, you know, it's still a high price product because this is still like 30, I think it's $32 or $34. So you're not getting a ton of product, and you know, it's up to you. What do you feel about that? Like, how much are you willing to spend on one, the brand, and then the actual product itself? So for me, this is a decent concealer. I've used it quite a few times. I used it today. It's under my eyes, and I also used it on my lids as like an eyeshadow base or primer, and it does pretty decent. So I'm gonna show you the swatches of the shade itself. So again, it's M21, and I'm gonna read the undertones for this. So M21 is meant for medium skin with neutral olive undertones, and like I said, this is $32. So I'm gonna show you the swatches. The middle swatch is like a thicker, heavier swatch. The one on the left is a blended out swatch that's dried down, and then the one on the right is a blended out swatch with the powder topped over it, and we'll talk about the powder in a minute. So I apply the powder over the concealer when it's dried down, so you can see how it looks. So the concealer itself dries down. It matches my skin pretty well. It has more of a golden olive undertone, and then when you set it with the powder, it kind of deepens up. Now it dries to almost a matte finish. Yeah, I would call it a matte finish. I wouldn't call it like a natural finish. I wouldn't call it like a dewy finish. I wouldn't call it like a natural finish. It's a matte finish. So when you put powder over it, it darkens it a little bit. So just be careful in selecting your shade if you're willing to try this out, that it does dry down a touch darker than it is, and then when you set it with powder, it's gonna darken even more. So that's why I got the shade M21, because I found that it was just the best shade for me. And it's almost like I want you to go in store and swatch this instead of trying to guess your shade online, because it's difficult to guess it online because of that little dry down darkening that it does. And this one, I like it enough. It's not like the ultimate. I wouldn't repurchase it. Like, I love my Urban Decay, the new Naked Skin, whatever, the new concealer from Urban Decay. I love that so much. So I would choose that over this. and then it has more product and it's close to the same price because I think the Urban Decay one is $29. This has a decent packaging too. It's in a glass tube. I think it's a very solid, sturdy glass tube, so I wouldn't be afraid to travel with this. Even though it's glass, like I don't see it breaking unless you really smash it. So I like the luxurious feel of it. It's a nice, classy tube with a black top, and the applicator is a spongy doe foot applicator with a conic, like a pointed arrow shape. And it does apply the product really well. You get just enough product to dab under your eyes. You don't need a ton of product either. But I don't think this is a full coverage concealer. And I'll show you right now, it blended over my tattoo so you can see what the coverage is like. It won't give you like a full heavy duty coverage. It's gonna be more of a medium coverage. So if you have really dark under eyes, you might wanna go in with a corrector because it's not gonna necessarily cover up all the darkness. Like you can still see a little bit of my darkness shining through. So it's not an all-powerful concealer, which I don't mind because I want my skin to still look fresh and natural, and especially since it's so matte, I don't want it to be heavy duty. That's kind of what Tarte Shape Tape did. I had such problems saying that just now. I said Shark Take Shake. Like I was saying all kinds of foolishness, but Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is heavy duty, full coverage, and it dries matte as well, or almost like a demi matte. And that one like blanks out everything. So I didn't love that because I don't use a full coverage foundation, so I need a concealer that's gonna blend in with my foundation without looking stark. So I do like it, wouldn't repurchase it because it's high priced for a little bit of product, but it's a sexy product. You're paying for the packaging, you're paying for the name, of course. Now moving on to the powder. So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. There are 3 shades. I think it's like a light, medium, and a deep. This is the deep shade, so it's the darkest shade available. It comes in a little black compact. It comes in her typical little Ziploc with the sequins and all the stuff, you know? And it doesn't contain a ton of product. It's 4 grams or 0.14 ounces. And I like this powder. I think this is a pretty nice powder. It's pretty lightweight, blurs under the eyes. It does a decent job. Again, it's not like blowing me away, but I do like it a lot for under my eyes. It does give a blurring effect. It doesn't look dry or cakey, but if you use it over a matte concealer such as this one, it can look a little bit powdery. So just be mindful of that. If you have very dry under eyes, and most of us have a drier under eye, be careful, okay? If you use it over a more hydrating concealer, I think you'll get a better effect. But for me, I have oily skin, so it doesn't look too dry under my eyes. The thing I'll warn you about with this powder is it kicks up a lot of product. So you have to tap very gently over the top of it because you will waste a lot of product just trying to get some off if you go too hard. It kicks up a ton. So just be very careful, like barely tap it, because I'm telling you, you're gonna waste product and it's too expensive to be wasting it. But I do like this powder. Between the concealer and the powder, I would recommend the powder first, but I do like both of them and I do enjoy the powder a little bit more. I'll go ahead and run through the other non-palette purchases before I jump into the eyeshadow palettes because I got a few, quite a few, and I think I need to stop. But anyway, let's jump into these Fenty glosses. So I got 2 of the glosses from Fenty. These are the Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer. So during the holiday, Fenty Beauty released like little sets of mini products. So they had a set, I think, of 5 lip glosses, and this shade was a part of that collection. So this is the Hot Chocolit shade, and it's a dark brown shimmery shade. It has like bunch of sparkles in it. I'm gonna show you the swatches right now because I didn't swatch that off camera. Like I didn't swatch it differently, so you're just gonna have to deal with this kind of shoddy, like typical swatching that people do, but I like to do my swatches separate so I can show you up close, but we're gonna show you anyway. So I got the hot chocolate one because I was like, oh, this is great. It's a dark chocolate gloss, but it's not too dark, and it's so beautiful on my lips. It gives me a really shiny look, but it adds a little depth and a little sultriness, and I love it. You don't feel the glitter in this, but it gives you this really shiny look to your lips. So I am absolutely happy with that. I love the Gloss Bomb formula from Fenty Beauty, so Love that. And then I also picked up the clear one, which is called Glass Slipper. This wasn't released as a mini. This is new, completely new, but I love a good clear gloss. And again, I love the formula of the gloss bomb, so I was happy to pick this up in a clear color. That's not a color, but you know what I'm saying, the clear one. So I really love these, and like I said, they're very shiny. You see the hot chocolate shade, even though it's shimmery and it has a little darkness to it, you can't see like the glitter in it. It just gives it that extra oomph. And then the Glass Slipper one, you can put this over anything and it doesn't change the color. So these glosses I've been having fun with. I've been getting use out of them, and that's what I want to do with my products. Like if I purchase them, I want to use them, and that's like my new mantra. That's how I'm approaching my purchases now. Use the products. So we got that. I also picked up one of the new liners. So this is the Fly Pencil Longwear Pencil Eyeliner. Why did they repeat that? Anyway, it's in the shade Bachelor Pad. She has a whole collection of these, and I went in and swatched them, and I love how creamy they are. They apply smoothly, they're pigmented, they glide on the skin without tugging, right? But they're budge proof and they are waterproof, so they last a really long time. So I'm like, these are gonna be perfect for my waterline. So I picked up 3 shades, okay? I picked up the green one, the dark brown one, and then this one, the gray one, which is the Bachelor Pad. I tried out the brown one, right? Burn the hell out of my waterline. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe what the hell is happening. It hurt so bad, my eyes were irritated for days, and I was like, no, this can't be true, right? So I tried the green one, same thing, and I was like, no, I already have dark brown, I already have green, I don't need to suffer through this. I don't need this, okay? And I found that long wearing eyeliners do tend to burn my waterline, and I'm like, I just need to find something that works. And a lot of liners do that to me. This is not the first one that does that, but it burns so bad. I've never had an eyeliner burn and irritate my eyes for 3 days straight. Like, and the 2 shades did that. So I was like, oh my god, what the hell? Even my Perversion liner from Urban Decay, my 24/7 liner pencil, that will burn like the same night, and then I'll wash my face and I'll be fine. My eyes will be just a little irritated, but not irritated too much the next day. This like burned forever. But I still kept the gray one because I love the color and I don't have anything quite like this. So I'm almost like I'll suffer through it. And this one to me didn't burn as much, or maybe that's just all in my head. It may just be all in my head because I'm trying to justify it, but this didn't burn as much. You do have to be careful with these liners because even though they're twist ups, they don't go back down. So you can only twist it up, you can't twist it back down. So just twist up what you need, because you will end up wasting product if you twist too much up and then it gets smushed in the cap. So just be careful of that. And I don't think they're shaped to give you a crisp line, but you can still like use a liner brush to create a crisper line with these. But these are really long wearing, and you know what, I'm gonna keep the gray one and just go with it, suffer through it. You know, beauty, pride feel it, no pain. That's what my mother used to say. Beauty feels no pain. So we're just gonna suffer through it with that. So can we jump into the palettes that I picked up? I don't think I have anything else. No. And I have another palette here that I got in PR, so I'll share that with you guys as well. But let's jump into the palettes. So I picked up too many palettes, but we're gonna let me just have things and you're not gonna judge me too harshly. So the first set of palettes I picked up were the Juvia's Place mini palettes. So they released these 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, and I collected all 4 because I was like, I am so intrigued. I love the Juvia's Place eyeshadow formula. I really enjoy their color stories, and I enjoy the color stories of these abbreviated palettes. Like, they're smaller palettes, they're mini palettes, so I'm definitely gonna get use out of these. And you can use discount codes on them, plus they have sales all the time. Now here's the thing about Juvia's Place. I've done a sponsored video with them, and I've done videos like swatching and using their products, but I am almost scared to do any more sponsored videos with them. I'm an affiliate, so I do have a discount code. It's the Fancy Face, and you get 10% off. So you can use my affiliate code, but I've never gotten an affiliate payout, so I'm not sure how that works. And then it's hard to get in touch with them. You don't really hear back all the time from their PR team. So I'm a little bit skeptical about like really promoting them hardcore on my channel. because I don't like that vibe that I'm getting, and I've heard people have nightmare stories with customer service. So I don't want that to come back on me. I don't want to take that onus for a brand. Like, I don't want to back a brand and then they have issues, you know what I mean? And they have had drama in the past. So let me know how you guys feel about that. Like, I still like their products. I love them, and you can get the products in Ulta, so you can avoid like the issues with like customer service. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel that happy about it. So let me know what you guys think. Anyway, here are the palettes. So we have the Nudes palette, which is the lightest one with light peachy tone nudes. This is pretty, but they're definitely lighter tones. I think this would suit people of medium to light skin tones. Not necessarily the best for me, but I can use these in conjunction with the other palettes. So that one's the peach. Then we have the violets, which I think is beautiful. But the mattes in this, there are only 2 mattes in this. In the Nudes palette, we have 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. Beautiful, they coordinate well, they swatch decently. And then we have the violets palette, and these have 4 shimmers and then 2 mattes. The mattes swatch very poorly. They're a little bit patchy, but I'm sure if you use a good primer, they'll build up nice, because a lot of the Juvia's Place mattes I found need some building up, because they can be a little they feel a little chalky and they feel a little thin. So you can build these up with a good primer, but the shimmers apply really nicely, and these are such well thought out purples. So I like it. I don't love this palette as much. Then we have the Berries palette, which are red tones, pinks, and like eggplant shades. Not my favorite because I don't love pinks at all, but I can see a pink lover loving these. This has 4 mattes though, and then 2 shimmers. The shimmers are amazing. They're so beautiful, but the mattes, being pinks, they're a little bit chalky. The lightest pink here is the smoothest of the 4, but the other ones feel a little bit like, I don't know, like they feel textured, like you can feel the granules of the powder, but they build up nicely on the eyes again over a nice primer. So just be mindful of this. Now, the one that definitely gets my recommendation is the Chocolit palette, and I use this in a video. I will link it over here so you can check it out. This one was the one that I ultimately wanted to get. I wanted to get this so bad, and I think I wanted to get the purple one, the violets. So I just went ahead and got all 4 of them. But this one is definitely a great palette. It builds up nicely. The shimmers are beautiful. There are 2 shimmers, 4 mattes again. The mattes build up really great. The 2 matte browns though are very similar, but they have different undertones. One is more of a gray charcoal undertone, and then one is more of a red base, like espresso brown. These just work well together, so I really love this for like a chocolatey smoky eye, which is what I used it for. I love that one. So I'm like on the fence with how I feel about Juvia's Place, but I definitely love those palettes. Now, I also picked up another couple of neutral palettes, which is like, who am I? Like, who am I really? And I'm trying to figure that out. So y'all, if y'all find out who I am or where you placed me in the universe where I can't find my colorful self again, let me know. But I picked up this palette from Voss, and I didn't know this existed. I just went in store to Sephora, again, swatching things in store and like, you know, playing around. And I saw this and I was like, what is that? So this is the Matte Vibes eyeshadow palette from Voss. And I was like, tell me more. This is an all matte neutral palette, and I love my Voss eyeshadows. I have 2 palettes from them. I have the colorful one, which I actually want to do another bold colorful look from that. I'm gonna use it again. I don't care that I used it before. I'm gonna use it again because I love that palette so much. And I love the formulation. They're all matte, bright neon colors. And so I was like, all right, then let me check this out, because this is a neutral palette with beautiful neutrals. Like, look at this. Like, it has everything you could want here with mattes. It has like mauvey tones, orangey tones, warmer caramel tones, like a gray tone here. Like what do you call, like a like a gray tone brown, and then you have a black, and you just have so much depth and dimension in this palette. There are not too many light shades. There's 1 light shade that you can use as a highlight, and it just works. These are so smooth. They feel so creamy, and like I said, the Voss formula, at least in these Vibes palettes, So good. So I had to pick this up, and it's not even that expensive either. So I was so excited to try this out. So I absolutely love that. Can't wait for you guys to see the swatches. I'm showing the swatches so you can see how great that it's. So fantastic. And I also swatched the Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2 palette. I didn't even want this. Like, I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna get it because it's just another neutral palette. It's a neutral palette with pops of color, and I was like, I'm over it, and I already have the Latte palette, blah blah blah. And when I swatched it, I was like, I want it. I also used this in a video, so I will link that over here so you can check that out. Did I post that already? Yes, I did. So did I? No, I didn't, but I will link it when I post it, and I will link it down below as well. So this palette, here's the thing. It has 3 shimmers and then 7 mattes and 3 colors. So this is a mustard yellow, this is like a teal, a pastel teal, and then you have like this rosy pink. These are beautiful. They apply well and blend well. The shimmers are gorgeous as well. Typical neutral shimmers. I love these. The frappe shade, which is the lightest one, has some glitter particles in it. So if you aren't into that, then this is not for you. But I don't mind like a glitter, but I find that I'd rather apply those damp or over a really sticky base to make sure they stay in place, because glitter will irritate my eyes. Here's the thing. These 2 mattes, very similar mattes. This is a red tone one. This one is more of a chocolatey brown. And they're very close. And then the next shade that's like supposed to be a medium brown is way lighter, and then you have this ivory shade, and I feel like they were missing a medium tone because I couldn't quite blend out with this palette alone, even though I could mix like the frappe shade, Cafe con Leche. I could mix that shade with the other dark shades to give me a lighter tone, but I didn't want to do that. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, but the Latte palette, they have medium tones in there, so maybe she wasn't trying to repeat that, and then you can use it in conjunction with other palettes, so it's not that big a deal. But I do like this palette. Does it smell like... It smells sweet. Does this one have vanilla powder in it or cocoa powder? Let me see. I don't see anything here that says it has any fragrance in it or any of those powders, but it does smell sweet. I just got a whiff of it. It smells almost like the Tarte eyeshadows. You know, they have that vanilla scent. But I love that palette, and just be mindful that you don't have a medium shade, and you just have to navigate around that. But I do love that palette. Next neutral palette that I picked up, you guys are gonna be like, what are you doing? I picked up the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. This is a complexion inspired eyeshadow palette, and I am about to roast this palette in a shopping block, okay? But I picked it up anyway because I went in store again. I shouldn't start minding my business. I'm not going in store no more because this is how I get caught up. So I swatched this at Ulta, and I was like, wow. The mattes apply so smoothly. They're so creamy. They're what I'm wearing right now. I actually use this in a look. I was just trying to do something quick to do this video. I do have a get ready with me video where I did this look. Like, it wasn't focused on this look. I was chatting about declutter culture, so I'll link that too if you want to check it out. But I use this just quickly to get a quick look on my eyes, and I love how they apply and blend out. So the premise of this is that this is based on skin tone shades from their foundation range. So it's meant to mimic skin tones, and they have pairs where you have a matte shade and then a shimmer shade. The shimmer shade is in the smaller pans, so they're meant to be complementary shades of each other, right? So it'll go right down from lightest to darkest, and I like this palette. I didn't think I would, but I truly do like this palette. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the medium shades to amp up the pigmentation and amp up the saturation of those shades. Like, they needed more depth, but I'm okay with it because on my skin tone, they don't read, even though they look light, they don't read ashy. Like, they don't have that gray white cast. They still have like a medium tone saturation to them with like a little color undertone. Like, you have a peach, a pink, and then a caramel one, and they apply a little bit deeper than they look. Like, when you apply them over eyeshadow primer, they deepen up a little bit. So even though it's not gonna be the best thing for like dark skin tone, like really rich skin tones, I still think if you're my complexion, you can use this. And I know they've gotten into drama, and that's why I'm like, do I want to support them? But then it's like, it's Jared's sister and she was fired, and that sister needs to sit down. But then Jared had the Rich Lives Matters cake, but he didn't really, like, I don't know how to feel about Too Faced. And then the Nikki tutorials, I don't know how to feel. And I'm like keeping them at a distance, like I'm not really checking for them, but like here or there I think I'll pick things up. Like that's where I am right now. I'm not really like canceling anybody. There's some people that I'm definitely canceling, like no, you're not getting none of my support. But other brands I'm like, because everybody seems to be goddamn messy these days. Like what the hell is going on? Every damn person is messy. So I'm just trying to navigate the waters, child. I'm just trying to do my best. But I did really like this, and you'll see from the swatches, they're really pretty shades, and the mattes are really creamy. I think the last palette that I picked up was the gold palette, the foil palette. You know the foil gold palette, that the mattes in that were also creamy. So I think they've stepped up the formulations. I don't get their holiday palettes or their big palettes because I feel like those are trash, but like some of their chocolate bar palettes are really great, and the mattes in that foil palette, the gold foil palette, were really good. And I feel like these are like a little step above that because they're so creamy and buttery, and once I touched them in store I couldn't say no. So that's why I got caught out there in these streets, but it is what it is at this point, right? Now I also picked up this palette here. I know you're like, what is that? So this is from Ulta. It's the Frida, this one is not from Sephora, it's from Ulta, but this is the Frida Kahlo, how is it pronounced? I don't know how this is pronounced. Frida Kahlo. So if you guys know Frida, she was, who was she? I only know the movie, and I never watched the movie, but she was a freedom fighter, right? She was an activist and an artist. Am I wrong? I should look this up. Let me look it up and not embarrass myself. So it says she was a painter. So she's of Mexican heritage, and she was very, very famous. And there was, like I said, a movie. I don't know too much about it, so I'm just gonna keep going. So this palette was available at Ulta like last year sometime. And when I went in store and swatched it, I was like, that is nice. The colors, pigmented, buttery, creamy. They have beautiful mattes in here. There are 12 shades and 4 shimmers. So the other 8 are mattes, and when I tell you these apply well and blend well, and they're creamy, and they're pigmented, and they're sexy, I was like, oh my god. But this was $30. There's a set though. It comes in this box, right? The box is supposed to be a collector's box. I ain't collecting it because, again, I don't know about Frida. Oh, here we go. In the time of the revolution in Mexico, a star was born. Proud of her country's culture, its folklore she truly loved. She's known as Frida Kahlo, great artist and naturalist, married to Diego Rivera, famous painter and muralist. Suffering from polio as a child and a bus accident later in life, during her painful recovery, passion for painting kept her alive. Admired for her unique art, empowerment, and personality, Frida was her own muse. She painted her own reality, highlighting her own beauty, different inside and out. She became a fashion icon. Why is this reading like that? Is that how it's supposed to be? I don't know. Her masterpieces and life are now sources of inspiration. Her flowers, colors, and shades we all love with fascination. So that's what it says in here, but it comes with 2 things. So the palette, and then this little tin, which is a color switch. And that's why I was like, all right, I don't mind getting this because it has like a little added thing in here, but I wasn't spending $30 for this. For what? It's for Ulta. So I got a color switch now. I never had one before, but the palette was really what drove me to get it. This is on sale at Ulta for $15, and you could use your $3.50 off $15 coupon. So I got this for $11 something. What? What? I said, kindly put that in my bag. Thank you so much. So I wanted the palette, and I waited and waited, and it was finally on sale, and I picked it up, and I am very happy. The color story is nothing like spectacular, but it has beautiful colors. It has a green, a blue, a mustard, a orange, some browns, a black. Really creamy and really great quality. So I'm happy to have picked that up. So I'm gonna enjoy it because, you know, that's what we do. And then I'll share this palette in a bit as well. I got it in PR, but I'll share it as well. I got some of the e.l.f. palettes. So a lot of people have been talking about these. These are the new quads from e.l.f. They are called, they're bite-size eyeshadows. And like I said, there are 4 shades in here. These are available at Target, that's where I got mine. But they're also online at e.l.f. and there are more shades available on the e.l.f. website versus in store. So there's like a green one, a purple one, a more berry one that I wanted to get. But I'm like, I want to try these out first. And I don't want to just go ham just because they're $3 a piece. So these are $3. And amazing, okay? I love the duos that I had from e.l.f. before, and I've used them before in videos, and I love the quality of those eyeshadows, and I feel like those are better than their 10-pan eyeshadow palettes. So when they released these, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try those out because I already love the duos, and the duos were such great quality. So I picked up 4 of the shades. So we have Truffles, which is a more neutral tone, like smoky palette with 3 mattes and 1 shimmer in like I would say like a pewter shade, like a pewter taupe. And then it has a caramel brown, a deeper brown, and then a matte. The matte has little sparkles in there, but they're still gonna apply as a matte. This one is so good for an everyday simple eye, and you can amp it up to make it really smoky. Then I have the pumpkin pie one, which is not as orangey as you would think. It's just a bronzy palette. This one has 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. The shimmers are more on the bronzy side. This is a great everyday palette, I think, and it's great to add to your collection at $3. And then we have the Berry Bad, which is more pinky mauvey tones, which are not my ultimate favorite, but I did want to get it for the 2 mattes in here. So we have more of a red tone matte brown, a more pinky, not really pink, it's like a rosy beige, and then 2 shimmery shades, and the shimmery shades are actually really pretty. And then the last one I got is the Carnival Candy. This one also has 3 mattes and 1 shimmer. The blue is the shimmer one. This one is really pretty too. So this one is if you want a little bit of pizzazz. So I'm definitely happy to have these. I want to test them out some more for $3. I don't know, like depending on if I can see, if I can pick the green up in store, because I'm not gonna buy these on, I'm really not going to, okay? I'm not. Sorry, if they want to send them to me, that'd be great. That'd be great. But really excited about those $3 quads that are pretty decent quality. So the last thing I got, this was sent to me in PR from Urban Decay, it's the Wired palette. I was gonna pick this up anyway, so I'm glad they sent it to me. So this is their new pigment, pressed pigment palette. It is a replacement for their electric palette, which I still have and love. This was all the rage back in the day when people weren't really doing, well, companies weren't really doing bright, colorful shades. But now more companies are on the market. More companies are doing colorful shades. Indie brands are doing colorful shades. So like Urban Decay is not really like who we're checking for color. But back in the day, this electric palette was everything. I mean, colorful, bold, fun shades, and everybody loved this palette. So when they discontinued it, everybody was like, excuse me, is there a replacement? And they listened, and we now have the Wired palette. So this one is the sister to the electric palette. It's the replacement palette. And what I like that they did was they separated the pressed pigments, which are meant for face and body, and then for face, eye, and body. So they divided it so you're pretty clear on which ones have the ingredients that the FDA don't think are eye safe and that can irritate your eyes. Some people get irritation, they can get staining, so just be mindful that. So these shades on this side, use them on your eyes with caution. Just be careful. Apply a primer so you don't get the staining, and if you know you get irritated by red pigments in eyeshadows, this might not be the palette for you, because I use this, and this is why I wanted to talk about this. I had irritation. My eyes were red, and just, it wasn't sore, like, it wasn't like bloodshot or anything, but I did have burning in my eyes for at least 2 days. Like, I felt my eyes were sore. I didn't want to put makeup on. Like, my eyes were so irritated. So just be careful using these. It might not be for you. If you purchase these, make sure there's a return policy so you can return it just in case you have the irritation I did. But this palette actually has a couple of repeat shades from the old electric palette. So they have 3 shades here, and I'll show you the shades. So I'll show you the full swatches of the palette itself. I'll show you the palette up close so you can take a look at it. But the 3 shades that we have are Chaos, which is the blue shade here. Oh, this blue shade, it's right here as well. Then we have Slow Burn, which is the orangey red, and Savage, which is the bright pink. So those 3 shades are repeated. I will show you the swatches again so you can see them old versus new. And I find there's a little bit of difference, not too significant in the shades, but the pink one was the most significant because the new pink one is a little bit lighter. The old one was a little bit deeper in tone. So just keep that in mind. And then 2 more of the shades are very similar. So we have the lime green shade, which is Thrash in the old one, Jolt in the new one. Those are very similar. They're not the same color at all. They're different slightly, and they look very close though. So I'll show you those swatches as well. You'll see how close they look. And then the purple one, we have Urban in the old one and then Gravity in the new one. One is slightly more red toned, one is slightly more blue toned, but they're very close. So I feel like there are 5 repeat shades in the palette, and there are 10 shades. So you're getting 5 kind of older shades revamped, and then 5 new ones. And the new ones are Fluorescent, which is this light blue. I shouldn't tell you the names, but the light blue one, this white one, this orange one, which I'm glad they included an orange, because when I did my look with the old palette, I used an orange from another, from something else in my collection, and I loved how it turned out. So I'm glad that they included the orange. And then they have the shade Shock, which is like a purple, a mauvey purple. This one, I didn't see how it tied in, but like whatever, because the old palette had a silver and like a teal. I wish they had included the teal because the teal was pretty. But they have this new green, which beautiful. The green, there are only 2 shimmers. So the green, this grass green, and the purple are the only shimmers. Everything else is matte. And I feel like this is for you if you just want to tip your toe into color. You don't want to get too crazy because this is not highly pigmented. It's not crazy color payoff. You're not gonna get the most intense color, and they blend out pretty sheerly. So to me, you have to really amp up the base if you want full color payoff. And if you're into color, I feel like this would be the palette you would go for. Like, there are other palettes on the market that just are more intense. But if you're just tiptoeing or you just want to try this out, go for it. I did a look with this. I will link that as well so you can check that out. I'm linking everything. So you'll see the look I created. It's a nice look, but I feel like this is not necessarily the most impressive colorful palette. So if you were going for, oh my god, a bold colorful palette, this is not it. You know what I mean? So that wraps it up. I think that's it. Yes, that is it. I did order something else that is coming. It is not here yet, but I made an order on the Clionadh Cosmetics website. So I didn't like the waiting that I had to do in my last order, but I really like the eyeshadows. Like, I tried them some more. I was disappointed and I was like kind of salty and bitter, but I tried them out some more and they're different. They're unique. I have nothing like them in my collection. I will say that now. And I do think that they're kind of worth the wait. So I went ahead and ordered some more of them. I ordered during their sale. So they had a sale in January. So I ordered during that time. And I also ordered during their pre-order sale, which was also with a discount. So I ordered a ton of them. I think I got the majority of the shades, if not all the shades. So I can't wait to have all of them in my hands. And let me know if you guys want a swatch video. I'll probably do a swatch video because I am so excited to just try them out and test them out. Lauren May Beauty did a great swatch video. I will link, I think I can link her video. If I don't, I'll link it down below. She did a great swatch video of all the shades that she has, and that's what kind of inspired me to try them out again, because I'm like, you know what, these are really pretty and I do want to try them. So I ordered a bunch of them. So those are coming in the mail soon. I actually got an email that said that I'm supposed to get them next week. So hopefully I get them next week, and then I'll wait for my pre-order before I do anything with them. But that's all I ordered. Well, not all. That's not all, right? That's still a lot, right? Are you judging me? Are you judging me? Are you judging? No, what you not? Yeah, I know, I overdid it. Especially with the neutral palettes. Like, who am I? What am I doing? Oh, this is why I want to do a colorful look with my Bright Vibes palette. Because I feel like I'm drowning in neutral. But I love a neutral look now. The older I get, I'm 37. I just turned 37 in January. The older I get, the more I'm into neutral looks. And neutral looks to me are just easier to do. They're simpler. Like this was just boom, 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 done. Like 2 color, 3 color, I'm done. Like I don't have to think too much about it. So that's why I love doing neutral colors. But I also love my bright colors too. And that's like the old school me, right? But may I tell you, age catch up on you. When age catch up on you, I'm almost 40. I'm 3 years away from 40. Imagine, like, excuse. So I don't really wear, I will still wear a bold colorful look. I love a good colorful look, but like I'm not doing that as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? You just age and tired and want to sleep, so it is what it is. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this haul video. I haven't done a haul video in a while since I've been on my moderate purchasing stint, like the thing I've been doing. Listen. I have an upcoming video of that too. I just have to sit down and film these things. I have so many videos and ideas that I want to do and film and stuff, but I just can't find the time. I have the time sometimes, but honestly, I think about filming and I'm like, I gotta put makeup on and come on camera and talk for hours. I don't want to. Like, I have literally not eaten dinner yet, and it is 10:35. I gotta go eat and wash this off. I already took my shower, because that's the other thing. Like, I have to shower before I do it. Like, anytime I'm getting ready to do a video, I'm like, you gotta shower first. Just like if I'm going outside, you gotta shower first. Like, I am that person. I shower multiple times because I feel like it revives me and it just gets me ready to go. I don't feel like putting on clothes and makeup if I'm not freshly showered. So that also adds to me not filming, because I'm like, I'm a shower, then I have to put makeup on, then I have to go take it off, and I have to put on clothes, and I have to comb my ear and my banana, and if my nails don't look right, I'm just a mess, y'all. So I'm trying, and I've been having fun doing some of these videos, so I'm getting back in the vibe and the spirit and stuff. So if you want to support me, keep watching the videos, let me know that you're interested, and I'll keep doing my thing. I'm gonna leave a full list of all the products mentioned in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. Those links, if they have an asterisk next to them or they take you to Ulta and Sephora, those are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make up blah blah blah. I say this so many times. If you make a purchase through those links, I will get a small sales commission, which doesn't change the sale price of the products. It just gives me a small kickback because I put you on, and you know, it shows your appreciation. And thank you guys so much if you use my links, because it does help me to put right back into the channel. So it's a great way to support me and to support any of the people that you support here on the platform. Definitely give, you know, show support, like, you know what I mean? Because YouTube is over here like shortchanging creators and like demonetizing videos and all that, and it's a lot of work and investment that goes into equipment and lighting and editing, and people are spending hours of their time. So if you choose to support the creators on this platform that you love, definitely support them. Buy merch, shop through their links, do Patreon, anything that you just show your support, you know what I mean? Watch their ads on their videos. So that's it. I'm gonna shut up now. Alright, until my next video, guys, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye.